Hi, good afternoon. This is Jeremiah from The-Bevel. And today we have a nice little tool here, the Multitool belt grinder slash bench grinder, the MT362-8. Now this little dude runs at 3,400 RPMs and it comes with a lot of different options for grinding. You have a flat platen here. You have radius grinding. You also have slack grinding available. Not to mention, to include that all, it's very easy to remove your belt. So when you're running up your belt progression, all you gotta do is push it in, remove your belt, switch them out, put your new belt on. There we go. There's a little lever on the side. Good to go. New belt. Go right up through your belt progression. Simple as that. The great thing about this tool is not only is it great for a knife maker, but this can also be indispensable in your shop for everyday use. I mean, you've got a grinding wheel. Now, of course, one of the most important things you're going to want to know as a knife maker is, hey, it looks pretty, but does it work? So we're going to try a few things on it, and I'm going to compare them to my ancient Harbor Freight 1x30 really beat to hell grinder. There it is. Bask in the glory of the Harbor Freight 1x30 beat to hell grinder. Yes, this one has made a lot of knives, but everyone starts somewhere. So, I've got a 36 grit old combat belt on it. It's probably close to the 80 that is currently on the Multitool belt grinder. So we're going to just take this old lawnmower blade and see what it does on this, and then we're going to show you on the Multitool. Don't mind the dust. As you can see, the Harbor Freight 130 really doesn't have much power, but it gets the job done eventually. Now we're going to do a similar experiment with the Multitool and see how it performs. It's got an 80 grit belt on it, so scratch that 100 grit belt. Has a little bit slower start time, but man, can you hear that cane purr. Alright, let's see what she does. I'd say that removes a little bit more material a little bit more quickly. Not bad. Now this could probably get a little tricky, especially if you're holding a hot piece of steel, which I happen to be doing. So let me twist that around. Can your grandpa's old grinder do that? Now, I have to be completely honest with you. There are some cons to this. Namely, you do have a belt that's sticking out there. So safety awareness is going to be absolutely critical. You do not want to get your t-shirt, your hands, everything caught in there. However, if you're used to working in a shop, you're probably used to working around a lot of moving parts anyway. But it's still something that you need to be aware of. Something else to keep in mind is, and if you're not wearing an apron, you may catch yourself on fire, which I may or may not have done multiple times. One last thing, and it's not really a con, but the degree at which this actually sets by default happens to be almost perfectly 22 degrees. So that means if you're sharpening, you got a nice easy time of it. I would recommend that it's running when you try to sharpen it. That old machete put a pretty good edge on pretty fast. All in all, the Multitool MT362-8 will make your job a lot easier in both the shop, the forge, and the knife making. So check yours out today, and we'll be seeing you. Be safe, have fun, and as always, forge ahead.